We're just gonna take it easy this week and take it easy with everything. We don't need to go anything crazy or anything.
Right.
Ah, sweet. Yeah, this week Ian is he's not feeling well. He's having some medical conditions, so he dropped out for today. Um, but we're gonna carry on. That's what the next person just carries on, and we carry on. So
Teamwork, isn't it? We're all here, and things will carry on regardless of who's taken out. We'll still carry on like a good unit.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
We've got a lot to cover tonight, I think, and we've got some presentations as well, haven't we?
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Hello there. Here's
Right.
Joe.
Run.
Yeah.
You can say that again.
Just don't make my finger. You've been doing well today, Joe.
So far, so good. I'm taking splinters out of my finger. I got metal shavings. I found a couple more.
Oh,
Yeah, I was like, why is my finger hurting? It's like, oh yeah, that'll do it.
probably something to do with it. Yeah.
I thought I got them all. I took about 10 out.
Oof.
That's the last time I do grinding with a carbide bit.
Yep. I'm not wearing
The
gloves.
worst was carbon fiber. I got carbon fiber stuck on the. Oh, that was horrible.
Oh
that
yeah,
was horrible.
yeah. I can just imagine. Yeah. I just wish I had a magnet, like super heavy duty magnet that just ripped them out.
That'd be nice, right?
Yeah.
Go do an MRI. You know.
Oh yeah, there you go. Here, put that underneath. Would you put my hand in there for a minute, would you?
Try. Yeah, so we were just saying earlier that Ian unfortunately can't make it today for medical reasons. So
right.
Yes, you're stuck with Chris and myself.
Oh no.
Keeping the meeting going and keep everything on track. Everything on track.
We're in good hands.
Yeah, we're gonna just have this meeting informal. It's really just talk it out, see how everything's going. So
yeah.
We'll let the VP. When you guys ready, we're ready. So
I'm good to go.
So I might as well kick us off with one bit of news. Chris and Joe are already aware of this. The application for 501c3 status is well underway. With two out of three parts of the application done. It will be, one way or another, it will be completed tomorrow. So we'll have our application in and we'll let you know as soon as we get that verified. It should be a pretty quick process. It's been more involved than we anticipated, otherwise it would have been a little bit quicker, but so that's happening and that will be incorporated before long. And we've got a lot of the background research done as well, so we have a plan for things that the leadership team will get to vote on, things that were discussed in the last meeting, like bank. We've got a proposal for a bank that we could work with, all the sort of nuts and bolts that are going to keep us on track and moving fast. It's all coming together and it's all looking exceptionally good. We've got lots of news to cover as well. But yeah, like Chris said, today is going to be an informal meeting. We're going to cover a lot of ground, lot of stuff, give you some updates along the way, and hopefully we're going to get some presentations as well. I'll hand you back to the president, to Chris.
all right, so fantastic. As everyone knows so far, everyone had me pump the brakes a lot. So it was actually really good. Everyone voted to pump the brakes and not work on the social networking app and really focus on the infrastructure. So this week has been a very intensive week to make sure that we get the 501c operational, 501c3, our educational institution nonprofit up and running. focusing on restructuring and making sure our NCO ranks are fully operational and defined, as well as our officer ranks. So those are two major projects that we are tackling right now. We're fully redesigned through Mr. Finch and the entire team. That our E1 to E4s are fully developed, and it could be some micro changes there to make sure we take care of any new veterans coming into the organization looking for help to be able to sustain them and be able to fix them their problems on those holistic scales, those 9 dimensions that we're trying to do, which is again emotional, spiritual, social, economical, financial, cultural, professional, and all the other realms that they're there. So don't even ask me how I got to the nine dimensions. There's only 7. So I think I invented 2 more there. But we can always keep adding to those dimensions as we really want to rebuild people. So coming to the NCO core, that's going to be a heavy push besides our push this week. So the social, I'm going to screen share real quick of the work in progress real quick. So as of right now, we have the basic template for our non-for-profit organization. Of course, we have Abraham Lincoln watching over us to make sure we're doing everything right. We're sticking by Abraham Lincoln. If anybody got a suggestion to put something else for a cover there, by all means. But I thought that was pretty prevalent because our organization is going to change the way veterans are treated. And the last time veterans had this kind of treatment was during the Civil War, where there was just so many disabilities that Congress had to enact actually putting out the Veteran Affairs. That's how the VA was actually created. So we have a basic transition guiding, education template, and things like that. What explaining about us, very simple. Our mission statement and vision, that is it. This is going to be just a strict, very basic information page. It's nothing going to be nearly as in-depth. If people want more information, they can always go to the brother organization or sister organization, Veteran HUNDO Club, transition, wellness, education. We have a target market of 17.5 million veterans that was verified by Mr. Finch. We have 3 million veteran businesses to support. That's to be able to target market. We have about a tap-in fund of about $266 billion that we can tap in from the VA, that the federal government spends on development of veterans. So we have a large target market that we can actually tap into those funds for our non-for-profit. They spend 4% of their GDP every year on pensions and things like that. So VA included or ever. We have 45,000 possible partner organizations that we can actually look into. And I know it's a lot to shift through, but for the not-for-profit, again, these meetings are interchangeable because this is just an open ground. There has no need to be separate, as Mr. Finch has said on the community meetings. Their values align the same, and the infrastructure is the same. So, and there's no voting going on in this infrastructure. So we have stories. We're going to need some bright stories. If anybody's got any stories thus far of how HUNDO actually supports them, and they can be up here on their fancy chart here, you can volunteer to be on that position. This is important here. Again, this is going to be our partners section here. This entire section will be showing exactly who are platinum, bronze, platinum members, or whoever. For example, I will tell you right now, this organization right here, Support App, is going to be one of our platinum league, because they have gifted us something extremely, extremely rare. And I'll let Mr. Finch discuss that if he chooses to. But it's extremely beneficial for both of our organizations, something that's just going to put us on top of the map pertaining to these type of things. It's like, let's just say it's like being put on Google's first spot forever. Okay. Again, this is a work in progress. So, you know, mission statement and everything, but we have a basic template coming out, created out of necessity instead of a need, and etc. So that's been a work in progress. And where does that put us today for our launch? We're going to be pushing back for sure our launch on our app. I think definitely past July 4th. I mean, target wise, otherwise everything is not there. And we're just not ready, sadly. And everyone's telling me, hey, we just don't have the infrastructure there ready. And no matter how much we want to shoot for it, it's better to make sure we get one shot at this and make sure. And I think Captain Arnold would agree 100% on that we do not flounder on we don't flop on this, you know, on this. So
yeah, we got to make sure our ducks are in a row, make sure we cover all our bases. I don't want, last thing we want to do is have any surprises, something that we didn't cover, and then try to scramble to cover it, you know. Yeah, we only got one shot to do this, so let's do the best we can with everybody's input. And I think we'll have all the bases covered. So, you know, happy everybody's here, that's for sure. You know, more input, more views, we'll be good to go.
So the vision stays the same. Our mission statement is highly evolved, but it stays the same. It's when the question is when we actually can start pushing through people through our social platform actually and start beginning classes. That is a very good question on how we can do that and start that transition to start turning our war machine on, at least. I had classes, I've done a few classes, but the awareness isn't there 100% yet. So we're gonna see also, we had recently, Mr. Sims, Clayton Sims, he's an individual who has 23,000 followers following his VA claims. He wants to be part of our organization. He wants to be a leader within our organization. So he's going to bring on a lot of veterans that are going to need help with VA claims. So we got to make sure that our structure is there too, to be able to take care of them. And our influx from there is, you know how it goes, literally 5 people, no 5 people. Hey, those 5 people start bringing 5 people, and that's before we know it, we're going to be slammed beyond approach. Within the last 2 months, we went from 0 members to 247 members in our HUNDO Club group, just on Facebook. So as we continue to develop that and keep growing at a good rate, but on how do you say, without messing our course up here and steering properly. So Ed, what do you got? You're itching. You got tons of homework you've been doing. So
yeah. Yes, I've been digging into a lot of stuff. Apologies if I've been a little bit distracted because I've really just been all out focused on the 501c3. That's been my focus, and that's the big priority for us to get that resolved and application in. So there's been a huge amount of research going into that, and I've been researching some of the rules that we need to comply with, so that we're as familiar as we can be stepping into it. The provider we're using is going to give us full training and support. I've been looking at some of the things that they may not tell us about or may not provide enough support. So looking into things like accounting software, which we're going to need, looking into banks. Recently been looking into the statistics on veterans setting up and running their own business, because that's going to be an important part. In fact, we were just discussing this today. Amongst the directors, that this is an interesting statistic, that the number of veterans who are self-employed compared with the general public who go self-employed and run their own business, veterans, it's 3 times the number of veterans are self-employed that means that there is going to be a massive, massive demand for help for setting up and running your own businesses and growing those businesses, doing it effectively, all of the things that are involved in that. But that's when we get people to that stage. You know, as you know, our first priority is to get people stable. So we get your VA claim sorted out. We get assessment of where your needs are, what are your essential needs, where would you like to go with your life, which direction, and we get people tailored into that, and then move them into the 9 realms, and then we move them into the educational programs that we're developing and wanting to get into. So this might sound like a lot. It is a lot, and we will need to be recruiting more and more people into roles, and we will need more and more of our leaders building teams. We haven't started that yet, and that's perfectly understandable. We're going to come to that. So I'm going to pick up on this a little bit more later on. One of the things that I'm personally planning with, there's been talk about having some training sessions. Chris and I have discussed this, and I'm going to be doing some masterclasses. So we're going to have some conversations about when suitable for people, when most people fit. Of course, these are all going to be recorded. There's going to be a series of masterclasses for our leadership team. And these are going to focus on the qualities that you need to build and lead a team. There are also going to be some of the things that you need to be aware of that this whole model is built on. It's just going to be some tips like that. There's going to be some of the stuff that I do with my private clients. People pay a lot of money for. You're going to get free of charge, of course. And once we've moved past those masterclasses and we've consolidated what we might call the basic training, we're then going to move into a phase where we have the masterclasses perhaps less frequently, maybe once a month, maybe a little bit more frequently than that if we need, just see how it goes. But we will have a rolling program. So we will have different people coming in as experts in their own field. So we'll have a round table. So you'll each be able to ask whatever questions you like. It will be open forum, ask what you like and get lots of training. And there'll be some training provided in those masterclasses as well, which will be formalized and sent out in advance. So these are going to be true masterclasses or masterminds, whatever you want to call them. These will be happening, and these will really help move us forward. Part of the objective is to empower all of you so that you feel happy recruiting your teams and passing knowledge back onto them as well. So they understand exactly what we're asking of people. They understand our structure, our ethos, our vision, and we can start to build teams because we're going to be moving so fast. And we need to keep the brakes on to a degree and just keep consolidating and making sure that everybody's supported. And that means passing on as much knowledge and information and expertise as we can amongst each other, building this collective mind, sharing knowledge and expertise, and supporting each other. There's a lot of logistics going to go on in the background here, a lot of logistics. Chris mentioned that we've had a meeting. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this because we had a meeting last night. It was one of those blow your socks off meetings, and I would rather wait until everything's official to give you all the information. What I will say at the moment is a number of you are aware of Water and his app to map out where the veteran-run businesses are in the US. The strategic partnership that we're forming with Water is a massive game changer for us. Massive. He's put huge amount of faith in us as an organization and where we're going. He's not pressurizing us, but we are going to be a very significant partner in that. You already heard the number of veteran-run businesses in the US at the moment. And this is before the majority of veterans get access to the level of training and coaching and expertise and support our collective mind holds and will hold. It will hold a vast amount of knowledge. And the strategic alliances and partnerships that we're forming will mean that we expand that massively, which is just part of the original model. That means that we can reach and support as many veterans as possible, and we're taking them to a higher level than has been possible in the past, or probably for any point in past times. So watch this space. We are going to grow into a very, very powerful organization. We just need to tread carefully, as we were all saying. We need to tread carefully. We need to make sure that we are solid and we get that solid foundation. So, yeah. Anybody, any sort of comments on that or feedback or anything, any stage? Yeah, informal meeting today. So shout up. The training, by the way, I know Ian isn't here, so I'm going to say this in Ian's absence. He, because of health reasons, he can't make it today. The training that he's providing carries on. It's not affecting that. And the training that anybody else wants to do, yeah, by all means, to carry on, because this is all about sharing our knowledge and expertise. I'm going to do things and provide training that others may not have, or like some things I know people won't have, because I know from all my years of experience they're unique systems. They're very, very simple, but they're very unique, and you'll get things that nobody else has got, and that's part of what we're here to do. So that's probably it for me for the moment. I'm sure I'll think of lots of other things. Oh, yeah, one more, by the way. We've made a start on a branding kit, so to brand the identities of both organizations. That work's going to continue. So you will see an immediate identity between the two organizations. So this V that we've got, this famous logo, this is going to be for the non-profit. And the Veteran Command round logo is going to be for the veteran HUNDO as it's been so far. We're going to go with Arial font as a font, because that's the one the military uses and everybody's familiar with it and it's easy to go with. There'll be more to the branding pack. We're going to build that. So yeah, it's just a little aside. I'll pass
Thank
back
you
to
for
Chris.
that. Hey, I appreciate that. I forgot about the branding package and stuff like that. We just, so why rewrite the book when we're trying to make it as simple as possible, right? Everyone knows has Arial font. We don't have to pay for it. We don't have to upload it. We don't have to customize it. It's already there. What is the Army regulation state? Arial font is the already there. So we use the tools where we got, right? So, and being why rebrand us, we're trying to stay branded with the again, as mimic the United States military as much as possible without the combat side. Welcome, Trell. It's good to see you. How's your weekend? How's your week? I know it's been a slamming week, as you can hear. So I'm sorry that normally we vote on Friday for leadership roles, and you did your homework in your aspects. So what you came in, had a meeting with Mr. Finch and I. You have a very huge, extensive resume. And what would you like to do in our organization? Let's just do it that way. What would you like to do, like leadership? What I mean, because you have so much there. Would you like to do the tech side? Would you like to do? What would you like to do? Because again, we're making the Army military structure, so that means like TRADOC. Captain Troy is TRADOC. Jared, Lieutenant Jared is TRADOC, and then those kind of things. So HR and management command, and Joe is public relations, and that kind of stuff. What would you like to do? I'm Special Forces Command. Why am I getting Special Forces Command? Because there is no other command structure. It's like, oh yeah, of course the president falls under SF, right? No, because there's only a select amount of individuals. Hey, Joe, you laughing over there? Come on. Hey, go.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not laughing. I'm just smiling.
Uh, he's like, yes, just special. He's not a force. Just
I didn't
special.
say nothing. I didn't say anything. You just go on
Um,
there, Mr. President. Keep going.
so
Just fine.
for example, there's nobody else who does VA claims, right? So that's it kind of falls into like we don't know where to stick it. We're gonna throw it in special forces. That's where it goes. You know, it's like one of those. So what would you like to do? And what do you think thus far of what we're doing together as a team?
No, it all sounds good. Anything to do with training, I'm good with. I got some qualities that I can help out with HR if you need help with that. Some of the ideas that I had sent you a couple weeks ago. So um, I'm open to wherever you guys have a position and have a need.
I would say training is definitely one of the big ones. With part of the category for the non-profit that we're going for is education. That's the category we're going to go into, and education in one form or another is going to be a key element. But the question we always ask everybody, and fundamental to where we place people, is what's going to be of most benefit to you, and what would you most like to give to veterans? So the two need to marry together.
Right, absolutely. So yeah, the training would be a good area for me, and then that way I can provide coaching and different professional development, personal development, different things of that nature. So that kind of all aligns underneath training. So I'm good with that.
Any particular aspects of training?
Um, I don't know what categories you guys have broken down as of yet, but
We're going to get
so
yeah.
Well, the focus that we definitely need to worry about is, when the guys come in, stuff like that, if they need any specific training to, just get them stabilized or something like that. Now, I don't know exactly right offhand, what that would be because, that's trial and error more or less. But
right.
yeah, I mean, any fundamentals stuff like that. I mean, we might have to have training on finance on how just to make a budget. Some of them may not know even how to budget. Something simple as
Right.
that, something that we would take for granted.
Right,
They may
exactly.
not
Like
have
me,
that
I can't
skill.
budget. That's why we have a treasurer, right? You know, in the nonprofit.
Yeah. Well, copy that. So, but these other guys that are more expertise in finance and stuff like that might know some better ins and outs than I do.
Right.
On stuff like that. But I'm thinking, fundamental training, just basic stuff, just to get them stabilized so they can manage their lives. I'm thinking that'd probably be a good first start going from there, and then who knows from there.
Yeah, and I guess we could develop some type of intake or onboarding processing, so that way we can identify the gaps and shortfalls. They kind of develop a better plan from there.
That's part of the VEP Center. We already we're covering different aspects as they come in. We're trying to think of everything that they're doing, everything that we need to cover, and that's going to be one of the things that I just thought of it. I'm like, oh yeah, I can't assume that they know how to budget. I can't assume that they know how to do some of the basic things. So that seems like it's probably going to be definitely needed to be added to the VEP Center, and
Right.
part of that intake process of their, one of those questions that we're just got to put on that questionnaire or something like that.
Yeah, so simple things like communication. That's one of the biggest things the vets have is communicating with the civilian sector and just that transitioning piece. So I'm
Right.
sure we can come up with quite a few different things. Like you said, trial and error. So just identify, write things down as we go along. We just create it as we go.
Absolutely, for sure. We got to keep it simple, and just think of it
Right.
as basic as we can. We can't automatically assume, oh, they're all just as smart as we are. It's some
Right.
don't have that support. So that's awesome.
One of the things we're going to be working towards is, and we need to be mindful of for the nearer future, is we want to work towards setting up some curriculums. I don't whether or not that interests you, just say, but we will be moving towards that route so we can have some structure. We've done the first big draft on ranks E1 to E4, and there's certain amounts of training in there. As we move up through the ranks, there'll be more training. We're borrowing from the military and then adapting it to our needs. But yes, there will be some, and we'll look at the 9 realms as well as those develop more. But we'll need to start being mindful of developing our own curriculums, our own packs, so that when people come in, whatever their needs are, we can pick out of the curriculum. We can pick units out of curriculum and say, right, we can pull these units out and build a bespoke package for you out of these units. There are some things that they will need to go through as a standard training, just as they do for the military, because there's familiarity there as well. But yeah, these are all nuts and bolts. It's just given us an idea of where you would like to fit best and what you're happiest with, and we can fill in the blanks about where our vision is, where we need to go, and moving
Right,
faster.
for sure. Like I know for sure each rank, this is kind of like what I was thinking. So once you hit E4 and then you go to 5, within the structure is once you hit 5 to go to 6, you have a conveyor belt, like almost a slider of different classes set up by one of us as leaders, right? Where let's say it's finance, right? Or one's business, one's learning business, or one's learning some of the most fundamental aspects that apply to them. You know, if they're health and wellness, and they can choose, right, which one they want and develop their own course. And if they go to the next rank, okay, you have to take, say, 2 courses that are provided for you, that are, you know, on that slider, right, where you can choose different. So this is kind of like the mentality. So we have something that we're kind of working with, so that way we can develop that in the future. For example, I know Lieutenant Smith is he's gonna give a heavy class on and maybe implement your type of class and training into that would be awesome, right? Like I would think, you know, business credit coaching and lending would be a very important understanding for a 24-year-old coming out of the military. Because again, we have to look at the average of who the target market is. And that's the pain point we're trying to solve. So we have all the veterans that are outside, but also the ones that are called our unlimited generator. And that's what makes us infinite and going to last throughout the generations, is that every government in the United States is going to require, the governments always require military. So forever we have a lead generation, and your guys are going to be in the forefront and the strong aspect. You guys are going to lead the tip of the spear. If you look at it, right, you guys are literally the tip of the spear. You're the John Adams of the next generation. Literally, you guys are that. You're the Hancocks, where your signature is bigger than everyone else. This is it. You guys are going to be written in history because you guys are actually taking charge of this. And this is something I want you guys to really soak in and be like, wow, wait a minute. You guys have got to be the tip of the spear of this change for the entire system. And then not, again, it's just not going to be here in the United States. This is going to be international, and this is going to be global. So, you know, we're the ones who are going to be going on to stages in the coming future and just saying why this came about, you know. So I go on a little bit of tangent there, but
I'm just going to give a bit of reassurance there. I personally know what it's like to be there at the cutting edge when things are first developed. I'm showing a bit of my age here, but back in the mid 1990s, when I was in, I started coaching in the early 1990s. By the mid 1990s, people who trained me were instrumental in starting the first national standards for coaching. They didn't exist before then. And I was one of the guinea pigs. I was not only a guinea pig for testing out the national standards in coaching as they were being written, I was also a guinea pig and one of the first to qualify as an assessor of coaches against the national standard. So yeah, personal first-hand experience of what it's like to be in there with the cutting edge. But you know what, it can be tough at times, but it's so exciting, and it's something you will never forget. Being there and helping to shape what's to come for future generations is very exciting. I was just a thought crossed my mind whilst Chris was describing the requirements that we're going to build into the rank structure. Reminded me when I was at university, and when I did various, I did a BA Hons, a postgrad diploma, and a master's. When I did the BA Hons, we had a system which I think could work quite well to pinch from, in a way. We had two core topics that we had to do. We were given subjects and given something to work towards. We were given a structure on those that was curriculum based. But then we had one elective, and the elective was choose what you want to do. For me, I chose it was a sculpture I made. It was a sculptural piece that was exploring nature elements. You don't want to know all that, but there was an elective which was a piece of work of my own choice and my own design that the tutors approved. Maybe that's something we could build in as a higher level at the ranks, that we give people an elective choice, so they can choose from a sliding scale, as you were saying, and maybe we can give an opportunity to say, I actually want something unique to me, something a bit different. I want to design something myself. Maybe that's something. Maybe that's another opportunity. But this is all to play for. All ideas are welcome. All ideas are welcome. We need. We're going to need lots of inputs to get this written and get it off the ground. So just very briefly, I'm going to pass back to Chris again any second. Do you want to talk a little bit more about the VA's accredited training that we've got our eye on and getting funding from the VA about?
Yes. So I've been headhunted by Capitol Hill because of the organization we're running, and they are forcing me to go through, not forcing me, but highly recommending so that our organization stays out of the fire pit, is because they know we have good intentions and everything, and everything is clean and transparent, and everything passes go. We're just a baby in the battlefield. So they know, okay, go get certified, become a veteran service officer, that kind of thing. So I'm being I've been hand selected by District of Columbia to make sure that our organization stays out of the hot seat. So that is one of my requirements that I have to go through, so that, because veteran claims right now is a very sensitive topic, it's extremely delicate. As you guys can know right now, that it's probably one of the top news going on in the United States. How sharks are, and VA claim insiders, and et cetera, et cetera. So we knew this was coming, me and Mr. Finch, but I didn't think we would be on the radar thus far, this quick at all in 2 months. That it usually is 4 or 5 years to even get on a radar of anything. So that's just the start. If you survive the 4 or 5 years, that's when businesses usually collapse. Am I right on that, Jared?
Yeah.
So yes, that is what I need to do. I'm required to kind of, like I said, voluntold very nicely. I think that's a famous word in the military used, voluntold, right? So I'm voluntold on that. So I have no complaints. Hey, it's just part of the job. And, as we expand outwards, because eventually we'll be taking on, every single VA claim and that comes out. We'll be the advocates of individuals coming out of service. So what is the number one pain point that veterans don't take care of when they're getting out of service? Themselves. Their number one advocate is themselves, and they don't realize that until it's too late. It takes time, right? So as you're getting out of service, we are going to be the advocate for them. We're going to make sure that they are slid into their proper roles that they want in society. We're going to do all these things, and with the powerhouse teams behind what I see right here alone, just in this 6-man army right here alone, is 200 years of experience. 200 years of experience, and we times that by 17.5 million. There is no organization that's going to be able to touch us on changing a veteran's life. There isn't. No organization is going to be able to do that. I'm just shooting, just telling what's going on and stuff like that. Jared, Lieutenant Smith, what do you got for us? What do you think should be done for like your credit coaching and business coaching? Just opening up anything.
I I guess I don't really have much. I mean, I just think that obviously giving classes on the business credit side is really important because there's such a lack of knowledge of how to start a business, what you have to do, what you have to establish and that. And so for them to understand that, I think it's going to be critical.
I went ahead, like when I started mine, this is my third business I've started. And, I went through SCORE. I went to the community college around here to try to get more information. I finished my bachelor's degree in business management with small business and entrepreneurship. I mean, I did the legwork just to learn because you have to reach out. No one's there really readily available to say, hey, you want to do this? This is, and have it kind of laid out and save you a bunch of time. I did years of research and stuff like that to finally, and then still I was nervous on the first time I did one. I still messed up with my taxes, but fortunately that didn't come back on me too bad. But my second business was with my wife, with her tie-dye business, and then I'm doing my lighting, and that's all growing. So I've learned a lot. So I mean, but you don't get that if
Yeah.
it's just one of those things.
Like one of the biggest things that people don't really understand is you have to establish, or you have to physically establish your business credit. So you have to go to like Dun and Bradstreet and actually sign up with them to get your DUNS number to establish your business credit. So people have the assumption that, oh, I got a business, I got an EIN, my credit's already established for business, and it's not that way. You have to actually go there and sign up for it.
Yeah, I haven't even.
Actually, I'm telling you right now, I don't even know what you're talking about. And I've been in doing business for almost 30 years.
So
So
sounds like I need to talk to you, Jared, and
Absolutely.
point me in the right direction. Obviously, I have 9 out of the 10 pieces, but not all of them. So obviously, I'm missing that one.
wow.
Absolutely. Always welcome to call.
So that brings a huge point is that when we actually go after the active duty version of veterans, preparing them, we have to hammer out the importance of credit. I'll tell you right now.
Oh yeah.
That is the number one thing I tell you in the United States. I've been divorced twice. My credit's gone. I'm gone, and I'm way down. There ain't coming back. There ain't no coming back. There's only one way to come back out of that. It's in a box. Being divorced twice. It's like, oh man, everything you had is gone twice. So that's why you left the country. At least I'm smart enough to leave the country about it.
That's one way to avoid it, I guess.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's it. I'm done. I'm getting out of here.
I'm getting out of this place. Oh man, that's right. I love his sense of humor. So that that's one of the major aspects of protection, making sure you have that prenup sign-ups, all that stuff, right? Forget about it, and then setting these guys up for success and learn from the mistakes that we had, especially me. I'm not looking to get divorced 3 times, but at the rate I keep going, I'm thinking I'm making it my second job.
I've already been there, done that twice. I'm on my 3rd marriage, so I'm not getting married again after this.
That's it.
This one ends. I'm done. Three strikes. I'm done.
I'm heading for my second marriage. That is not divorce.
Yeah. I knew a guy that had been married 5 times, and I'm like, good God. It's like, I'll find the right one eventually.
It's a game of whack-a-mole, right?
Yeah. It's like, good God.
But that is awesome. That is an awesome improve. Thank you, Jared, Lieutenant Jared.
Yep,
Appreciate
absolutely.
it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's huge.
More
Uh,
serious, this is where the collective mind really starts to swing in, and you see this because we've all got so much knowledge. What we're longing for, and I know there are a number of people here who are thinking the same thing. The day when experienced veterans can share that knowledge with the young, and particularly before they come out, and that we're able to prepare people so they don't have to go through what all of you have been through, hitting the ground, falling down, picking yourself up, and spending probably years trying to learn all the ropes. We can share all that knowledge, collective knowledge and expertise, collective experience, and just prevent that happening in the first place. For a lot of people, that is going to
Right.
make a huge.
I don't know about you guys. For about 2 years of my life, I kept running around saying "sir" and "ma'am." And like, right, I don't know if I think Troy is the only one that still doesn't say "sir" or "ma'am." I think he's the only normal one of us that actually stopped that. Am I right about that? Thank you, Mama Sen. God bless.
No, I say sir and ma'am, but more of like out of respect because that's how I was
Yeah,
growing up. But
Right.
other than
it's
that, not really.
it's a
Right.
Texas
So
thing down here.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
even
yeah,
still in Texas, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
In East
yeah,
Texas, where I'm from.
yeah.
everywhere else, they that I've experienced, they think we're calling them old or disgruntled or they're just useless anymore.
That's
It's
your
not.
New York attitude in there. That's what that is. That's that New
Hey,
Yeah,
York thing. Okay.
Yeah,
I
forget
grew up in
about it.
Connecticut. I know how you New Yorkers are. Okay. So I don't want to hear it.
hey, I have some good info if y'all want to hear.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm Facebook stalking right now. I put it in our chat. Andrew Canales, I saw him in a veterans group because like Sunday is really when I start going through veterans groups and checking stuff out
Right.
and seeing who I can help. But he's the owner and CEO of a moving company. So like they move veterans, PCS, ETS retirement, because that's what I saw his profile and I was like, well, shit, I need to move. And then I saw that he has an organization called Houses for Warriors. And it says they provide struggling veterans with housing and true support. They have 2.5 thousand followers. They have a website, organizational website, nonprofit,
Nice.
and he deals with canines, or he is a canines for warriors. I've never heard that. Service dogs, PTSD, TBI, MST. I sent him a link to our group on the just a Facebook group. I have a call with him in the morning about moving, and I'll talk to him more about the group. But yeah, he does a lot of stuff with veterans. So,
Well,
and he has, but if you want to check him out, it's Andrew Canales. I put his Facebook whatever in the chat. I don't even know what you call it,
Okay.
but I think he would be a definite asset. He seems pretty cool since I've been messaging since we've been on this call. So I think we could definitely use him and his knowledge and I'm sure obviously he's probably networked with a lot of people being part of these organizations and having his own nonprofit. So that'll
Right.
be another
Right.
spectrum realm, providing assistance. Because that's what I told him. It's like our goal is to be able to provide every single bit of assistance to any veteran that asks at any point. So, but yeah, I'll talk to him more about it tomorrow when he calls me. I have a call with him at 10:30 Central Time. So,
You know what's a great thing about being an officer? You think
you
it's a
get
good
paid
idea?
more.
Go with it. Yeah, well, not in this organization. It's an IOU. We can write IOUs. You ever see those before?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got plenty of those.
Yeah, I owe my parents quite a few of those still. Yeah.
That brings up that reminds me there's here in Missouri on the other side. I'm in Kansas. Missouri has Horses for Heroes, and it's therapeutic training or help with guys with PTSD or physical disabilities and stuff like that. And it's a pretty good sized ranch, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's like an 80 or 100-acre ranch, and they have stalls full of horses and stuff like that. And they've had a lot of good results with that. So I
Yeah, there
just
was
put
a
them down. They might be someone I might need to reach out to as well.
yeah, they're good because there was a soldier that I was with in El Paso, and I think that's the one that she was talking about that she goes to,
Yeah.
There's
because
one
she
in
couldn't get a
Dallas.
certain.
There's one in
There's
Dallas.
one in Dallas. There's
Yeah.
one in Dallas. And you just reminded me of that, so I'll have to try to see about
Yeah.
them too.
Yeah.
So
Chris and I were talking about animal therapy because when we were starting this and we started creating groups, I floated the idea that we should have a group for animal therapy, and Chris wasn't familiar with this, and I was saying, well, we were looking at it. Yeah, there's lots of canine groups running for veterans, but we didn't find any listed for other types of animals. So I was explaining that all different kinds of animals can be extremely valuable for therapy in various ways. And with regard to horses, when I was back in England, I had a friend who volunteered for an organisation that worked with horses, and they worked with disabled children, but they also worked with corporate. And they brought people in, and they didn't ride a horse. It was a whole system around basically leadership skills. How do you walk up to a horse and just portray your personality and get that horse to follow you without saying or doing anything? It was just about having the right frame of mind and persona and developing that and interacting with the horse, getting the horse to respect you. And if you could do that with a horse, you could do it with people. It was really, really interesting. There's a whole raft of stuff they did, and it's just a really, really interesting subject. I'm not an expert in this by any means. I know a bit about it. I know it's something that we would love to do, and yeah, the more strategic and alliances we can build, the better.
They've done it with wolves too. Very similar thing with building relationship with wolves and that.
Wow.
The other thing that's kind of brought up is what about like an MWR section or that, because there's also a lot of like hunting groups, that take veterans out hunting. There's a lot of recreational groups that do that. I mean that's a whole different realm.
That's a great idea.
Very popular with veterans. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some in West Texas actually, and I'm about to put in the group chat right now and asking who they were, because I remember seeing them like a month ago, but this was before I joined our group, so I didn't, obviously think about it. But I'm about to put it in some of these veterans groups right now and ask.
Yeah.
MWR, that'd be great. Put all the organizations like the Veteran Outreach that's here in Kansas, or other organizations that do like hunting, fishing, all that. Put them all in one, group or something like that. That'd be awesome.
Oh, Jared Smith, you're at the very top, most relevant.
I try to be.
Yeah, if y'all are in the veterans business networking together group, that's where I've talked to the most people.
Yeah,
they seem to be the least amount of hostile in veterans I've ever dealt with, because some of these veterans group, they're very hostile.
Yeah.
Welcome, Travis. Welcome. Bringing in some.
I'm glad to be here. Sorry, I read the time wrong. Sorry, I'm running late.
That's the main thing.
Where do you live in Alabama?
My father used to say the clock is wrong. You're not wrong. So I'm pretty sure you're right.
I'm actually down here in South Alabama, and in kind of a dark area, black hole, as far as resources and whatnot. And I'm glad to have found you guys, and thank you, Chris, for bringing me in. I'm glad to be here and glad to be a part of what you guys are doing, and really excited and looking forward to continuing to see and learn and eventually contribute and be an asset to the mission, without a doubt.
Thank you. A warm welcome from us. Very warm welcome. Yeah.
I can't believe did we just burn through an hour? That's impossible.
Yeah.
Travis, you're on Facebook, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
What's your last name?
Liles, Liles. Yes, sir. And I've joined I'm in the United States Veteran Command page, and also I'm a HUNDO club member, and I actually was introduced to all of this through the Veterans Networking group on Facebook.
Troy, Alabama. That's what I'm talking about.
There you go.
It's like a door was open, and there's this whole brand new world of things that I had no idea was there, and it's all bright and shiny, and Wow.
Gonna get even brighter. Yeah.
Right on. Well, welcome for sure.
Well, we're talking about Facebook and social media. I did something today, which I'm going to ask everybody when they get chance, and I'll ask Chris in a moment if you can drop the link. We've got our store. It's not ideal at the moment. It's not the proper one. So we've got a temporary store up with our branded clothing. All the 100% of the profits go into the pot, so they go to veterans. If we could post that on our social media platforms, that will make a huge difference because anybody can buy from the store. I believe it's just shipping to the US, but that's going to make a difference if we can get that out and start feeding it into people's attention. Helps
Mhm.
raise our awareness as well. People who go, "What's that Veteran V logo? What's all that about?" That helps, and promoting, saying to people, buy these clothes, wear it with pride, support veterans, and show your pride for supporting veterans. Chris, would you mind dropping the link in, and if you've got anything to add to that? Is he still with us?
No, I think this just wraps up the direction we're going and where the status is for our community update. This week is going to be a slamming week. I'll drop that in the Facebook chats. If you guys also, I'll drop it in the link inside the Hundo platform as well, on the main drive. So this week is going to be a very, very upticking week. We're gonna knock out the presentation. Hopefully that's done within the next couple of days. The website for the nonprofit will be done. The nonprofit itself will be done and come back within the next, I would say, what, a week? Give a week?
Oh, well within a week. Yeah, well within a week, I would say. We'll have it. Yeah.
Trell, if you mind, I believe, did you do a presentation for it with us or no? I can't remember.
Did I
I know
receive
you
one?
spoke to me, Mr. I know you sent your resume, everyone reviewed it. Did you do a presentation on what you would like to do within the organization?
No, we just had the conversation.
I think we covered it today, actually. You said what you wanted to do and how
Yeah.
we can, yeah, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right,
absolutely.
so we'll keep you up to date on what everything is voted upon, what rank structure, which organization and everything. What you got, Captain Troy?
I was just thinking Ian's not here to ask him a bunch of random ass questions.
This is so true.
Yes,
This is so true.
listen, you can't always pick your leaders. But you
Captain
gotta be able
McDonald.
to. You can't always pick your leaders, man.
Yeah, consider yourself lucky.
Poor guy
Appreciate
suffering.
All right, all
Yeah,
right.
you know, I like Ian, so he's good, but man.
Yeah, he's very precise with his questions.
Anybody got anything else to join for this week, or we're good?
Did you add me? Oh, did I have my thumbs up? Was that a
Yeah.
I didn't even know I did that. I don't even know how to undo that. Anyways, did you add me to your Canva thing so I can
Roger, I
get the
sent you an
design?
email. Roger, I believe I sent you an email to your Hundo Club email. It should have been to your Hundo Club. I sent the email to that.
I
Let's
got the
see.
email about the Microsoft thing, which I added, but I didn't see the Canva.
Presentation team. It should have been sent to your email. Invited Troy Dotson at hundoclub.net and invited Jennifer Chambers, hundoclub.net.
Okay, yeah, okay. So you did, but it says looks like you don't have access. I don't know
You
what
have
that
to
means.
you have to go to your Hundo Club email. You have to go to your Hundo Club and unlock it, and then you'll have access. You're part of my team. So
Could have sworn I already did that.
Travis, thank you so much for being here. This is our every week on Sunday. We just have a what's our situation? It's a sit rep. It's a sit rep of what's going on. Coming up in May 9th, is the 19th or the 9th, Mr. Finch? We have the
19th.
19th.
Yeah.
We have to vote on if we're gonna do, everybody's gonna be at that meeting, or we're gonna have a select few of individuals at that meeting of leadership. So we're gonna have to prepare for that. how we want to go about it. Okay. So
Y'all can look for me to participate and contribute in any way that I possibly can. Anything you need.
you know what? I
say the word.
think it would be great since brother, you know what, and this is my opinion. Again, we vote on almost everything. I think that being that the situation you're in, if we can use to say you as a testimony, does our system work? Does our system really work? Does it really change your life? Does it bring you hope? Does it bring you real results in life? And maybe come on to the podcast itself. That's my opinion.
Anything you need. Absolutely. Absolutely. It is, I don't even know how to put into words the difference that just a few days can make, and just a little knowledge that other people understand and are there, and somebody to help grease a wheel and push the cart forward. It makes such a huge difference. And then the availability of options and opportunities that can come with it, and all I want to do is send it back and find somebody else that can experience this and become a part of it. This is a huge thing, and the big picture of what I envision and see already happening with this networking group and you guys, and it's a cultural shift is what it looks like to me, and veterans finally coming together and being able to organize and do something really, really, really incredible here. And I'm just thrilled to be a part of it, and honored that you guys are there, and that I can participate. Whatever I need to do, anything at all, y'all got me 100% behind it and in to go.
Copy that.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you guys. If you guys want to reach out, give any advice to Travis, reach out to him. He's a HUNDO member, financial coaching or life coaching, business coaching. Right now I'm helping him with his VA claims. So he's got his hands full, and we're gonna keep getting your hands full. If you hungry, we're gonna feed you. You want life? You want life? We're gonna feed you. We're gonna give you life.
I'm ready.
Want life? We're gonna turn it around. We're gonna turn it around, brother.
Absolutely.
All right, team. I think this closes out today's weekend meeting. We'll see you.
All right, guys, have a good week.
And
See y'all
you.
later.
All of you.
Hey, I'm going.